let's go right. Hello and welcome to today's video. Now, people that know the channel for a bit of time know that I've been using the Garmin Zumo 350 lifetime updates for the majority of the time, or actually exclusively. I don't use my phone for navigation. And you also might know, if you follow the channel, that I've been struggling a little bit with the navigation lately. I'm already contemplating upgrading for quite some time. But yeah, at this point I don't really have a choice anymore, because it's not reliable anymore. You can expect that after more than 12 years. So the question is, what did I buy? Well, I have 3 boxes. And I will show you what my new navigation will be, and in this video I will not really do a review or first impressions of the navigation, but I will be installing it on the bike, and after I've used it for a little bit of time I will give you my first impressions. Let's see if I open the right parcel first. Yep. So, my new navigation is going to be a Zumo XT2. I've been looking or eyeing out that for quite some time, but also as long as my current navigation didn't fail, I really didn't want to invest an awful lot of money into it. I have 2 more boxes, so you might ask what's in that. I will show you. Because my current navigation I use a lock, because the standard mount does not come with a proper lock. And there's also some other options available for the XT2. So one of them is the handlebar controls, which basically is a few buttons that you have on the handlebar that comes with an extra, or with a dedicated adapter or dedicated cable, so that's slightly different from the normal Zumo cable. Last but not least, package from Touratech, which is the GPS mount for the XT2. On the 350 I also use a lock from Touratech, works well, it's very robust, never had any issues with it. It's not cheap, you know, it is like 150 euros, something like that. But yeah, it is very, very good. And the locks, the other options that you have in terms of locks, they cost also like 70, 80 euros. And they didn't give me same feel of quality. Okay, of course, if you double the price, you expect more quality, but now, let's see what's inside the boxes. I will do, as I say, I will do a full review of the stuff when I've used it for a little bit of time. So it's not a surprise. The Garmin comes with the navigation. If you look in terms of size, I mean, the XT2 is a lot bigger, so that's also one of the things I need to solve with my cockpit camera. But we'll deal with that later. I have a plan for that. In terms of weight, build quality, it feels really nice. In here we have the adapter, or the mount with the ramp mount, cable ties, various options to mount it with the arm, fuse, few cable tie eyes for the battery, and that's it. The handlebar mount. I'm very curious to see how that will fit on my bike, because my bike's, you know, Red Rhino is quite old. So it will be a bit of a fiddle around, I feel. It's nice. You get basically with the 4 buttons, you get 8 options to program or to operate the navigation. So that will be very useful. So and they have different sets of rubber, you know, to accommodate different sizes of handlebars. This is the different cable that comes with it, or that you need. So you see it has the extension for the handlebar controls. So need to make sure that we use the right one. And then last but not least, the Touratech Lock. I already hear the keys and all the hardware. Mounting instructions, hardware. So let's see how that works. And the lock itself has very beefy rubber mounts and well built. So I will put the Garmin mount on the Touratech Lock, and then after that we can put that on the bike. So what you need to do to actually assemble the Garmin mount with the Touratech Lock is you need to split the Garmin mount. So I will do that first, and then you use the hardware that's provided with the Touratech Lock to reassemble it, and basically you sandwich the lock in between the Garmin mount. It's all very small stuff, so be careful. So, as you see, it's being split into 2. And now you put it with the Touratech Lock. What is important, if you look at the lock, there's a silver plate or silver bracket on one side, and on the other side there is the actual push button. So the push button, the silver plate on top will also act as a lock. So basically act as an additional lock, so people cannot push this button once it's engaged. I will show you once it's fully assembled. This is the ejection button, or the button to remove the Garmin from the mount. If you look the Touratech Lock just like this, you see that the plate or the bracket is preventing you to push this button. So you cannot remove it anymore. Even, you know, these clamps, the rubber clamps on the side, they already cradle the navigation quite well. So I think it will be nearly impossible to remove anyway. Before we can start installing the new mount, I gotta take out the old one. So to do so, I'm gonna take off the windscreen, the tank, and also the headlight, because how I wired it in the past is I wired it to the headlights. I will change that this time, but will take a little bit of time. So let's get started. So as you can see, this is how I wired it in the past. So this is actually the parking light. This is the old return of the parking light. So I will change that around this time a little bit. But that's why I needed to remove the headlight. So I will remove the tank and then we can get started.
5 minutes later.
As you can see, this is the old transformer from the Garmin. This is how I wired it up in the past. So and I now can carefully remove everything. So let's do that. First things first, let's cut it off in here. Yep, this one. This one, I will make this a bit nicer later on. So now I can remove this. So, and there you have the old mount removed. So the first thing I will be doing is putting the handlebar controller on, because then I know how long the wire is and where I can make the connection. So let's do that first. So there are 3 different thicknesses of inserts. So I need to figure out, I need to see which one is for my bike. And then I can mount it. It's actually the thickest one. So I actually have a little bit of a problem here on the back side, so I need to see how I solve that. Found a solution I will show you in a little bit, but first I'm gonna see if I can actually fix it. What I ended up doing, let me see if I can show you, is there are 2 cables here actually. So I've cut out part of the insert. So basically what I've done, I've taken the insert and cut 2 sections out of it and place it back. So it means you need to fiddle around with it a bit before it really works. Probably, or before it fits in my case, but most modern bikes, you know, they don't have these kind of handlebars. They have all the wiring nicely tucked away, so you will not face this issue. I'll put a few tie wraps down, or at least one to start with. And then we can have a look at where the Garmin is going to sit and how we do that. So let's get the Garmin. I have an additional ball for the RAM mount here, so I will use this one for my cockpit cam, or at least have a second option. So this will be the rough position where the mount will be. So I'll have 2 options for the cockpit cam. I think that will be fine. I'll do a bit of final adjustment later on. I want to hide the connectors behind this, so I think I have enough cable to make it. So to make the connection, just push like this, and then you screw it tight. It's not the most elegant connection. There are probably better ways to do so. Yeah, I'm gonna tidy up some stuff, hide the connectors, and route the remaining cable somewhere near the battery, and then I will continue there.
A few moments later.
I will be using this, which is a switched relay, to power the Garmin. Basically, this one comes from the battery, this one goes to the supply of the Garmin. This is the trigger wire that I will be using, and this is the one that's going back to the battery. So I will take one of the wires from the ignition to use as a trigger wire, and I will wire everything up like that. What I ended up doing is there's an additional spare wire here coming from the ignition, so I cut that off. That is on the 1100 RT. It is used for the radio, so you can still have your radio on when you switch off your ignition. Hindsight might not be the best idea, we'll see. Place the switch relay over here. I might look for a different place in the future, but we'll see. Soldered everything, and I will now get the I will now get the Garmin, see if everything actually works. So back in a second.
A few moments later.
This is the big moment of truth. Let's see if it works. It works. So I will not bore you with putting everything back together. In a few weeks time, or maybe a little bit more than a few weeks time, probably after I've done the first 2 or 3 rides with it, I will come back to you and share with you what my first impressions are, how I like it, and yeah, basically give you a bit of an update on it and a first impressions review. If you enjoyed this, put a thumbs up. I hope it wasn't too long, and I will see you next time. Bye!